allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This meeting is now called to order. In line with our long-standing policy of open government and in compliance with the Public Meetings Act, I wish to advise that adequate notice of this administrative meeting was sent to the Editor, Park Press, and other local newspapers on January 10th, 2023. In each instance, the date, time, and location of this meeting will provide in the notice. This meeting is open to the public. Roll call. Councilmembers Bieber. Here. Booker. Here. Catalano. Here. Gorman.
Here.
Keeler. Lamia. And there's here. All right, first up, if there's anybody in person or online who'd like to be heard, just please say your name and your address, and you got 3 minutes to address the governing body. Yes, sir.
Dermot Farley. I'm sorry.
That's fine. It's being recorded.
Hello. Dermot Farley. I live at South Street, 1 South Street.
I want to share before I know. So I got your email. Thanks. I shared it with the whole governing body and the chief, so everybody's aware of their.
And everybody in South Street's here with me, as you can tell. Yeah. So they're all concerned about this issue. I couldn't do anybody go. Jack, you're so I guess, look, I know that parking in this town has been a problem for a long time for a lot of people. I think it's more of a problem for people downtown. And it's really not about the parking permits either, right? Like, you can issue a ton of parking permits for all the people, but if there's no parking spots, it doesn't really help. So you guys are all aware of my situation, and I think most people on South Street and River Street. What can we do about this? You guys tell me.
Well, we spoke about it briefly, so what we're going to do is we have your suggestions, and we're going to put forward our committee, a 3-person committee, and they're going to see, and they're going to talk to the chief, and they're going to see if they can come up with, if they can do anything or if not. I don't want to promise any change, because like in this town, it's like every small change is a big domino.
Right.
But if they come up with anything to accommodate, they will. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to review the committee. We're going to come back and tell the council what their findings are, and if we make any changes. So
let me ask you this, Brian. I do know that the caveat is that side street parking is for residents only. Mm-hmm. Now, when you have a situation where someone doesn't live there and it's purely used as a hotel, I don't think that those people should be getting parking passes, resident parking passes. What's your feeling on that?
I don't know from the committee. I don't know the hotel one, but I know the one comment is a tricky one if somebody's in an Airbnb, because there are people there. Because sometimes I know people who have Airbnbs, but they only do it part-time. So when you give them a parking pass, and they wouldn't have one, no living there, and the tenants would have one. So
no one lives in Bob and Sandy's old house. Yeah. That is year-round Airbnb. They've never lived in that house.
No, I'm saying in general. We wouldn't change it to one street.
Right.
We have to be.
It's tricky. Right.
So, I think that the answer is I think we're just going to run through the committee and then come back to the council, and then we'll discuss it.
And of course, if you'd like to invite me on that council, I'd be more than happy. That committee, I'd be more than happy to get it.
No, they'll reach out. You'll most likely get some feedback on it, or maybe some additional questions.
We do have your contact information, so we'll make sure you know when we're going to discuss it.
Okay.
I'll make sure that you get an email or a call or whatever. I don't know if your phone number's on there, but we do have your
I put it on there.
Okay.
I have a bunch of copies of anybody.
Yep, you do. And I'll notify you and we'll talk whatever committee you decide to establish on that.
Yeah, and I would offer to head up that one with this committee, if anyone, I think
I'm down here, so I can.
Okay.
Have the others.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so as the mayor just said, my name is Earl Beaver, I'm on the council. I offered to chair that committee, and the reason why is as part of the administration committee chair, I handle ordinances in town, and obviously this is affected by that. The other thing is I was actively involved in the short-term rental ordinance, which just took place, which directly relates to what you're referring to with that one particular house.
Yeah.
So we will, as the mayor said, we will put together a committee very quickly to take a look at this. And one of the first things I want to do is reach out to you and get your input. and potentially open it up to other residents that have concerns about this as well. Certainly involve the chief, right, because we understand that this is a difficult issue, and if there are potential solutions, what's the best way to do it with input from the residents, discussion with the council, and make a recommendation if there is one.
Sounds fair.
Good. Look forward to talking to you.
Thank you all.
Appreciate the comments.
Oh, awesome. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody online who's here tonight? Any more comments?
You guys don't need me for anything else.
No, sir.
I can sit up there.
You're gonna miss the All right, seeing no hands, we'll go ahead and move on to our consent agenda. All right, anybody like to make a motion to approve the items on the consent?
Second.
Thanks, guys. Councilmembers Bieber,
Yes.
Booker,
Yes.
Catalano,
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes.
and Hughes. All right, consent agenda has been approved. Moving on to ordinances, ordinance number 223, an ordinance of the Borough of Seabright adopting a purchasing manual. Would anyone like to make a motion to open a public hearing on ordinance 223?
So moved.
Second.
Manual.
Okay.
You're right.
All right, Councilmembers Bieber,
Yes.
Booker,
Yes.
Catalano,
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes.
and Hewitt. All right, would anyone like to be heard on ordinance 2/2023? Anybody online would like to be heard? All right, would anyone like to make a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance 2/2023?
Second.
Councilmembers Bieber,
Yes.
Booker,
Yes.
Catalano,
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes.
and Hewitt. All right, the public hearing is going to close on ordinance 2/2023. Can somebody make a motion to adopt ordinance 2/2023?
So moved.
Second.
All right, Councilmembers Bieber,
Yes.
Booker,
Yes.
Catalano,
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes.
and Hewitt. All right, ordinance 2/2023 has been adopted. Moving on to the next ordinance, 3/2023, an ordinance amending and supplementing chapter 201 vehicles and traffic of the code of the Borough of Seabright. So we make a motion to open a public hearing on ordinance 3/2023.
So moved.
All right, Councilmembers Bieber,
Yes.
Booker,
Yes.
Catalano,
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes.
and Hewitt. All right, would anyone like to be heard regarding ordinance 3/2023? Once again, anybody online like to be heard on ordinance 3/2023? All right. We'll make a motion, anyone make a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance 3/2023?
Second.
Councilmembers Bieber,
Yes.
Booker,
Yes.
Catalano,
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes.
and Hewitt. All right, public hearing on ordinance 3/2023 is been closed. Would anyone like to make a motion to adopt ordinance 3/2023?
So moved.
Councilmembers Bieber,
Yes.
Booker,
Yes.
Catalano,
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes.
and Hewitt. All right, 3/2023 has been adopted. On to the next ordinance, we are at 4/2023, an ordinance amending and supplementing chapter 9, claims approval of the code of the Borough of Seabright. Please make a motion to open a public hearing on ordinance 4/2023.
So moved.
Councilmembers Bieber,
Yes.
Booker,
Yes.
Catalano,
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes.
and Hewitt. All right, would anyone like to be heard regarding ordinance 4/2023? Once again, anybody in line like to be heard? All right, I guess anybody can make a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance 4/2023.
Second.
All right, Councilmembers Bieber,
Yes.
Booker,
Yes.
Catalano,
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes.
and Hewitt. Ordinance 4/2023 has been, the public hearing is closed. Would anyone make a motion to adopt ordinance 4/2023?
So moved.
Roll call. Councilmembers Bieber,
Yes.
Booker,
Yes.
Catalano,
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes.
and Hewitt. All right, ordinance 4/2023 has been adopted. We're moving on to individual business, new business, we have vouchers in the amount of $418,893.24. Will someone please make a motion to approve this vouchers?
So moved.
All right, roll call. Councilmembers Bieber,
Yes.
Booker,
Yes.
Catalano,
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes.
and Hewitt. right, this voucher list has been approved. All right, we'll move on to mayor and council comments. I can start with a few quickies. Chief, touch on one very exciting news, right? But you had 90 trucks of cement rolled to town yesterday, and they started the foundations on the seabed side.
That was quite the convoy of trucks coming to Seabright.
Yeah, so, and then they're gonna, when's the next trip coming?
I think it's gonna be towards the end of the month, and they have to figure out the staging process, because I don't think they're gonna put that many trucks onto Robson Road. I don't think they're gonna have it on that side of the bridge. But
They might have spare it over.
I don't know how they're going to, so they might have to stage here, but I just don't know if the bridge can handle it. I guess that having the trucks can go over it, that's not my decision to make, but they're planning on the end of the month with that second floor. So
It's pretty exciting. We're getting there. They're still on target for next year too, so we'll see.
we'll see what happens.
Thank you. Donnie, our recreation director, just announced that the Easter egg hunt has been listed for Saturday, April 1st, 1 p.m. So bring out the little ones. It'll be a pretty exciting, crazy race for all the different eggs. So it's a fun day. Hopefully it's a warm day. It's coming Sunday. I forwarded an email and invite, but Rumsey's having another St. Patrick's Day parade 1 o'clock Sunday. I'll probably try to walk in with my little guy if possible. Let's see. The only thing is, I know I stopped by, I met Chris and Jean. They've been working on opening up the historical, the offices they have in the overall hall. It was pretty nice in there. They've been cobbled together, workers and so forth, and it's pretty nice inside. They're making good progress. They do have a small list of requested donations, if anybody knows of anybody. I get little tools, I take care of the tools and stuff like that, but I know they asked for a laptop. If anybody happens to have a decent used laptop available, or any. I didn't ask what office supplies in, because you said general personal office supplies. So if anybody has either of those, please let them know. But aside from that, it was nice in there. I haven't been in a while.
Have we given any thought, I'm just curious about precedent and that sort of thing. For something like this, the Historical Society, which obviously performs a very nice service and is interested in all that, is there, have we ever helped their organization members like it with, all supplies or offering some sort of resources to help them get what they need? I know that those of us in the governing body who donate our stipends and past, etc. So I imagine finding some dollars is pretty easy to do. I just don't know. If there's a request here on us, and I'm wondering what the process might be. Should we choose so as a governing body to support something like that and offer some resources for these few things that they need? So
the list is pretty. Aside from the tools, I think the short list include. There are a few other items too, but one was clean, so I don't know how to awful clean. But they basically, if anybody has I don't know if the borough has a spare laptop that we don't need anymore that's decent. They don't really have a big wish list right now. They do have general office supplies. I'm assuming, self-explanatory. I think the borough will probably help them out, but we could also, like you send up some donations from people we know. I think somebody, I might have one in my office here, an old laptop that I use. But I haven't ordered it before though. But anyone has that or any baseball supplies. But I don't know. I wouldn't mind doing maybe. It'd be good to have it, maybe a fundraiser for some point again. Might be nice to keep that up. But in terms of the borough stuff, I don't think we really need to get anything. We can, maybe when we were a letter, we do a newsletter, we can maybe set up some kind of a request for donations for the
Historical Society is looking for donations, so we can do that.
Well,
Yeah, pretty good is it?
I just
several things.
We'll add it for a mailer.
What's the mailer?
Just do a community-wide mailer. Usually try to put it on the, I took Ian's advice and tried to do add it to all towns, but the last one we have, we're going to do this one.
Usually it's around budget time.
Yeah.
We talk about the budget,
Yeah, well, we're going to get questions out. Joe and I just talked about it last week, and I put together a short list of things to highlight in there. All things are known already, but important for the town. But yeah, you can review it, and we'll get it out there. Throw it in for the historical. All right, that's it for me. You guys have updates on your meetings? Sam, you're good?
Well, no, just the rec center. I know that there's a problem with the East Walker building, so we're doing some investigation into that. They also are meeting before spotlight some areas where we might be able to use some Sandy funding, because that was damaged from Hurricane Sandy, so we can take a look at that. We're going to have our first recreation meeting that's been had in a couple of years, so it'll happen in March, and so the community team is going to come together and recommend some additional programming. So we'll kind of put a recommendation together for everyone. We're working with you all on the mobile optimization. I've sent some emails out to Zumo, who currently owns our site, to make some intermediary, just minor changes, just to clean it up. But then I would hope to kind of have that done in the next few months. So it's just a bit on the two projects that we've already talked about.
Mayor, just to go back on the comment that Heather made, I think John reported on this last time. We opened up the wall on the east side of the building, John and I, and are pretty confident that we know where the leak is coming in. I think the guy that's got the contract that's going to do the stucco repair and the painting has taken a look at that. And I don't think any of that should preclude the ability to move forward with the external project. I think they've done renderings and painting different colors and stuff like that. The repair looks relatively minor, so I think we're in good shape. Good shape in moving that forward.
Sounds good. I hope we can add that.
Heather, you done?
Yeah.
Mayor, a couple things,
Sure.
if I could. So today we had a meeting with Department of Transportation, Joe, Jack, and myself. It was a Zoom meeting, and it was hosted by Vanessa Meads from Department of Transportation. This has to do with pedestrian crossings. And I would consider it to be a pretty good meeting overall. There's a lot of detail that we'll go into during the workshop, but I just wanted to give you a couple highlights of what came out of that meeting, because there's an interesting twist in this. First of all, they're on board with 5 of what they call the mid-block crossings to proceed with a plan to put these crossings in place. It is a very long, protracted process you have to go through, but the 5 that they're proposing would be 100% funded by the state under a safety improvement initiative. They would go through formal design next year, and then they would take a budgeting process and they would project that those 5 would be installed in the 2026-2027 timeframe. It's obviously way further out than we would like it to be, but what I walked away from, and these gentlemen can comment when I'm done, what I walked away from with it is they are committed, they have a plan, and we are on the queue to make this happen. The only thing they would need from us is a resolution from the governing body authorizing them to do it. So I don't think that that is going to be a problem. The nuance in all of this is you'll remember that there were 2 highly desirable crossings by the beach clubs, which had been previously worked before the state safety program was put in place, down by the 2 beach clubs to the north side of town. Those were advanced in what was called an expedited process, and we're going to be moving ahead very quickly. Because it was done in advance of the state program, there was a cost share allocation that was going to be developed for that. That cost share was supposed to be 25% local paid for and 75% by the state. Based on discussions that took place, it appeared the beach club were willing to kick in the money associated with their 25% share, and things were progressing down the assumption that that was going to get done this year. What's happened since then is increased cost of the price got back to the beach clubs, and the beach clubs apparently reneged on the cost that they would have been paying on that cost share. During our discussion, it became very clear to us that we think we were talking past each other. The estimate of what their cost share would be was probably way above what they were thinking. So we took an action. We asked DOT, go back and tell us what you believe the cost share is going to be. We will feed that information to the beach clubs. We believe they'll be satisfied with that, and if they are, and that agreement is in place, can you move ahead with the expedited crossings and get it done in the next year? The answer is yes. If the answer is the cost is prohibitive, what we said is we would come back to the council and have a conversation. Do we want to proceed with those or not? The very good thing I would say about these, if you've driven around Monmouth County and other places, these are the full-up, solar-operated stanchions on both sides of the street, which flash in both directions. And 2 of the 5 that they summarized for us would have overhead signs which would be very illuminating about the crosswalk. The two they would recommend doing that on is the north southern crosswalk point and also at Anchorage Park. So if everything goes well, and I know I've taken a long time here, if everything goes well, they press ahead with the 5 that they're planning on doing it 100% cost by the state, be done in the 26-27 timeframe, and resolve the issue that we have with the 2 in front of the beach club one way or the other, and try to have them expedited this year. Joe, anything you would add to that?
No, very complete.
Jack? Okay. Real quickly, the other thing is the council asked us to take a look at beach ordinance enforcement, particularly around things like smoking, alcohol, dogs on the beach. We convened a meeting about a week and a half ago, where several of us were in that meeting. It was Heather, Joe, Richard was with us, myself, Brett, and Jim. We came out of that meeting with a series of actions. We want to refine, probably have one more follow-up meeting, and then come to a workshop and make a recommendation to mayor and council on if we should do anything and how we would propose doing it. And then the last thing I have is on the bulkhead improvement initiative. Some continued good progress here. Greg continues to work the refinement on the engineering plan. In addition to that, Mike Baskin has been looking at a variety of funding methodologies, and believe it or not, this week, through federal agencies and FEMA, they opened up a request for applicants interested in getting emergency disaster, pre-disaster funding for projects that we think could fit into this type of category. We understand the risks and challenges and requirements of federal funding, but Mike Bascom felt it would be very beneficial for Greg Blash just to complete those applications over the next week. We found out about them over the last couple of days, and they're due by the 14th of March. So Greg Blash is going to do a quick pass on that. I talked to him about it today. Mike thinks it's worth going through. It doesn't commit us to anything. It explores if there's funding available to us from federal or FEMA to supplement anything we would have to put into it. So we're going to proceed doing that. The last thing I would say is I would request that sometime in April during the workshop, we'll have an update from the engineering analysis, from the funding recommendations, come back and have a more thorough conversation with mayor and council on where we are with the bulkhead improvement initiative. That's it, Mayor. Thank you.
Thanks, Ron. Jeffrey, Jack, you guys have that?
One thing I'd say, when you, let me know when you plan to send out that letter to the residents.
Okay.
Because I want to put in there an alert on bike safety.
That sounds good. We'll add to the agenda right now, and then we'll get to okay. This is going to go probably within the next few weeks.
Yeah, I don't want to know how much space you have, but I'd like to alert residents that we had several close calls last year.
Yeah, great.
That's what
glad to.
Okay.
And as I mentioned, I'll reach out to Heather.
We'll talk.
Cool. Thanks, Jack.
Yeah.
Jack, you have anything?
I would just add, obviously, we'll sort of be going through the budget process collectively. As usual, our administration, CFO, Joe, et cetera, and the rest of the team's done a great job in working with department heads. We have a, we think is a pretty austere budget. When it makes sense, we make these tweaks by the time we actually get to adoption. But excellent progress being made. I think that the governing body as a whole has done a good job in being the stewards, of the public's treasury, and we look forward to bringing that forward shortly.
Great. Okay. All right, I think that is about a wrap. So thanks, guys. Thanks for coming out for our meeting and earlier come. Jack, your buddy was here earlier. He spoke on the your pioneer for the resident parking, right?
Yes, but that's not why I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here to find out if we got a resolution for the River Street flooding for low tide when it rains very hard. The storm drains are all collapsed.
I don't have any update on anything, Jack, or Mr. Gotti. I'm sorry. We have some engineering work that's going in this year's budget for storm sewer rehabilitation.
So going on for about 4 or 5 years now, right? And that's kind of slow, huh? Can we ever have anybody go down the street and video those pipes yet and find out where the new collapse is? And the collapse come from all the holes that were drilled in the street from the water company? I don't know.
I don't know either. We have not done a storm sewer videotaping on River Street.
I thought we were going to do that, and that was about 3 years ago.
We have the money this year for some sewer lining projects that'll take place, and the lining just relines the existing pipes that have cracks and holes in them. It's pulled in from the outside, from the manholes pulled through. It's a vinyl product, so that will take place this year. But no, there's no formal project on the books yet. Our Public Works team has put together a presentation along with all the other department heads for a 5-year capital plan. But no, Mr. Gotti, we have nothing on the books right now.
You know, like probably the last 10 years, I probably been to 8 meetings at the end of the street, and we just sit there and look at storm drains that are filled with water on a drizzle. And then when it's a major storm, the way the parking lot's designed, the way the firehouse is designed, everything goes to that intersection right there. So we're ruining people's cars that are just driving through the town, and this has been going on for a very, very long time.
It has, and there is some light at the end of the tunnel, because as a result of a potential project, it has approval from the planning board and borough council. An additional pump station will be placed to try to collect all this and bring it to the new pump station.
Yeah, but that's not what our problem is, you guys. The problem is we have collapsed storm drain lines that go from Ocean Avenue to River Street, and it's somewhere between where the pump house is and Ocean Avenue. It's not after that. It's not towards the river. It's somewhere between my house.
Jack, we'll talk to our engineer about that and see what knowledge they have of that, and we'll see what.
So what's that?
We'll talk to our engineer about that and see what knowledge they have of that.
I mean, I've probably been to 5 meetings with the engineers at the end of the street, and the video thing was supposed to happen, and it didn't happen. Everybody seems to be dragging their heels here. And when it rains hard, low tide or high tide, it comes down past it's on the other side of my car like a freaking river. And this is, we talked about this and talked about it. Gets to the point where you get tired of talking about it, you're not doing what you say you're going to do.
We're going to talk about the only option we have is talk to our engineer about
I
it.
mean, we were out there with the engineer. We were out there with 10, 12 people.
I don't
multiple times.
have any feedback from Greg, so
Joe was there.
I was there. That was really
Jack was
just the
there.
backflow preventers. It was all about putting in the check valves on
Has nothing to do with that. Has absolutely nothing to do with check valves. This is a collapse in the pipes between my house and Ocean Avenue. Nothing at the river. Check valves have nothing to do with that particular flooding. Low tide, the street floods. That's a problem. Not a high tide flood.
I'll talk to our engineer. Let me see what his take is on what they look at it, and if we need to, whatever, we'll see what we can do about that. Because I'm not familiar with it myself, but the class.
It's been going on for years, Brian.
What's that?
This has been going on for years. A decade, at least. Right, Joe?
I don't know about a decade. I haven't been here a decade, but it's been
Many years.
a number of years. Agreed.
Thanks, Jack. We'll do what we can. I don't know what to tell you right now. I'm going to talk to our engineer. I can't fix it right now from the seat, but I'll see.
I see them put some money into sidewalks and curbs right now. Just wondering how come River Street get pushed off to the side. Been here 35 years, you guys. And, I don't like having to move my car when it's low tide.
No,
I'm
fair
moving
enough.
up on high tide.
Okay, thanks. We'll cover that.
All right, promise.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, thanks.
Any other comments on council? You're good for committees? And I think that's pretty much let me see. I believe that is it. So, all right, with that being said, if anybody can make a motion to adjourn the meeting. All right, Councilmembers Bieber?
Yes.
Booker?
Yes.
Catalano? Yes. Gordon?
Yes.
And Kiko? All right, meeting adjourned.